Amid Iran's allegation that ISIS-like tactics have infiltrated its protests, news of yet another Islamic State-linked jailbreak has set off alarm bells across the region. A fresh mass escape of ISIS-linked detainees has been reported from a neighboring country next to Israel, raising fears of extremist networks rebuilding in fragile border areas. Jailbreaks and mass escapes are now being reported against a rising ISIS pattern in two key U.S. rivals, Russia and Iran, fueling speculation about a broader destabilization campaign. Tehran has been quick to blame the West, after Russian investigators said they found a foreign hand behind the Crocus City Hall terror attack that killed scores near Moscow. All of this is feeding questions about whether there is a larger conspiracy behind multiple ISIS-linked jailbreaks and attacks, emerging just as Iran tensions sit near boiling point. Syria has reported a new mass escape from its al-Hol detention camp, which holds families linked to ISIS fighters, CNN said, citing Syrian government and Western officials. The escape took place after Kurdish-led forces abruptly withdrew from the camp, leaving it more vulnerable and allowing large numbers of detainees to slip away. This comes only weeks after around 1,500 ISIS members broke out of a separate prison in Syria in January 2026, underscoring how fragile ISIS detention infrastructure has become. A Syrian government spokesperson said the Syrian Democratic Forces had pulled out of al-Hol without any coordination with Damascus or its security services. The SDF rejected the Interior Ministry's claims as misleading, accusing the government of using the issue to evade its own responsibility for camp security. Instead, Kurdish commanders accused Damascus-affiliated factions of entering the camp and physically removing families of ISIS members, further muddying who helped whom escape. The Kurdish-led SDF, which opposes Syria's current rulers, was once Washington's main local ally in the war against ISIS in Syria, carrying much of the ground fighting. More recently, however, the U.S. has been accused of abandoning the SDF and edging closer to Syria's new ruler, al-Shura, recalibrating its alliances in the country. The SDF said, quote, "In the face of this deliberate escalation, and amid suspicious international silence, our forces were forced to withdraw in order to avoid turning the camp into an open battlefield. Our forces' withdrawal came as a direct result of the military attack and mobilization by Damascus targeting the camp and its surroundings." Back in January, the SDF said it had withdrawn from al-Hol because of what it called international indifference towards ISIS and a lack of Syria support to manage the camp. Syrian authorities say they have identified more than 100 breaches in the camp's perimeter walls, gaps that allowed smuggling and large-scale escapes by ISIS-linked families. At the same time, Iran's government has claimed that ISIS-style terrorist elements infiltrated the recent wave of anti-government protests inside the country. Officials told RT and other outlets that these terrorists used violent methods reminiscent of ISIS atrocities, including shootings and extreme brutality. An Iranian official alleged that these cells had been instructed from abroad to open fire on both protesters and police, in order to inflame unrest and delegitimize the state. The same official claimed that members of these terrorist cells beheaded law enforcement officers and carried out gruesome killings during the chaos. They burnt people alive and finished off the wounded, the official said, likening the alleged acts directly to the worst ISIS atrocities. Iran's foreign minister has also written to the UN Secretary General, accusing foreign powers of enabling ISIS-like acts of terror inside Iran under the cover of protests. It is worth recalling that ISIS also carried out the mass shooting at Crocus City Hall near Moscow in March 2024, one of Russia's deadliest terror attacks in decades. Gunmen killed 149 people and wounded 609 others in that attack, while causing an estimated $76.4 million worth of damage to the concert complex. Russia's investigative committee identified 19 perpetrators, accomplices, and arms suppliers as members of ISIS-K, the group's regional affiliate in Central and South Asia. Investigators went further, concluding that the Crocus attack was planned and committed in the interests of Ukraine's leadership, a claim Kyiv has strongly denied. Inside Iran, students from a University of Art in Tehran held a rally on February 25, keeping the protest momentum alive despite the crackdown. Demonstrators chanted anti-government slogans such as "Death to the Dictator" and "Free Political Prisoners," signaling continued defiance against the regime. These fresh protests are unfolding even as the U.S. threatens to attack Iran if the ongoing nuclear talks in Geneva fail, creating a volatile overlap of internal unrest and external pressure.